Praise the Lord, everybody. God bless you, man, and welcome to Faith-Filled Friday. I am so excited to have you with us today on this Friday afternoon. Man, listen, when you do me a favor, when you jump on, whenever you listen to this broadcast, let's like and share the broadcast. Let's spread the message of hope throughout the world as those people that you are friends with, those people who are listening to you and following you, that they are able to receive the word of the Lord. I want to take a moment before I start to acknowledge my dear friend who has gone on to be with the Lord. Today marks 1 year that one of my closest friends, Pastor Herbert Bartley, went home to be with the Lord. I want you to remember the Bartley family as you pray, as you minister before the Lord. Just remember Rhonda and the kids and just pray for them, man. He was a dear friend, as this picture on the screen. He's a dear friend to my wife and I. Just a great man of God in impacting lives, church family. Just pray for them, man. When a spiritual leader transitions like that, it takes a toll on people. And it kind of really inspired me to share today, not even realizing how long we have been doing Faith-Filled Friday. We've been doing it for many years now. I went back through several of the lessons. I said, man, I'm gonna go back and teach plenty of them because they were really good lessons. And I ran across this one and I began to think about how life has been as of late. When you think about the political climate that we're in, the racial tension, the economy, family struggles, and all the stuff that's going on, it's easy to become consumed with life and what's going on around us, and the fear can grab hold and being overwhelmed, and all of those things can begin to take place. And they are normal things that come into our lives that may challenge us as we begin to try to move forward in life, right? Sunday is Mother's Day, and we are celebrating all the mothers. And while we are celebrating mothers, there are many who have lost their mothers, and this time of the year is challenging for them. Deacon Dale mother recently passed, so this is going to be a very painful time for him because it's going to take the Lord, and this is what I want to help us to understand about the power of God working in our lives while we're trying to walk this life out. And so I want to call your attention to a verse from Jude, and I just want you to listen to the verse, and we've quoted it, but I want you to let this verse minister to you today. I want you to let it minister to you. So Jude writes in Jude 24, now unto him that is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy. Listen to it. Just that first part. Now unto him that is able to keep you from falling. And I'm going to talk today from around the topic running on empty. If you've been around me any length of time, you've heard me share this, running on empty. But as I begin to reflect on the amount of energy that it takes to keep our walk with God on track, to keep our focus on God. I'm talking about staying focused. I'm talking about staying prayerful. I'm talking about staying discerning, right? Staying on the assignment that the Father has called you to. Staying connected to both God, the ministry, your family, staying connected. Man, this life that we are living in, this walk that we're called to, called Christianity, I've said it many times, will always demand our attention. It is so easy to drift and do what you want to do, but if you want to really stay focused and stay on point with God, it's going to demand your attention. And I know there are many of us who wish it didn't, but it does. It demands our attention. Now I want you to remember this, because without God stepping in and doing those things that are necessary for us to remain fruitful in our walk, this life can begin to take a toll on us. It just begin to take a toll on us. You know, Philippians write about it, is God at work in us, right? To will of his good pleasure. And it is important for us to really realize this, without God stepping in. It is without God intervening. There's no way we're going to be able to live out this life and honor him properly. It's one of the reasons Christ asked us, and I'm talking to somebody today, I don't know who I'm sharing this with, you need to hear this. It's one of the reasons Christ asked us to lean in on him, right? One of the reasons he does that is because he is the keeper, not us. God is the one that keeps us. Now, remember, I've shared for many years that the Lord in his love for us has left certain things to us to ensure our victory as believers on this planet. We know that he left his word to guide us. We know that he left his spirit to empower us. We know that he left prayer to commune with us. And we know that he left his church to encourage and teach us. All of these are facets of God's love that are meant for us to pull upon. All of these are meant to help keep our spiritual tank full so that we can keep moving forward in our assignment. Today, you might be under attack. There might be some traumatic event happening in your life. Today, something may be draining you, pulling you down. Something may have come into your life to make you consider your walk with God. Things could happen in the economy, the struggle in your own family. All of these things come around, and these things that God left to us, his word, his spirit, prayer, and his church are meant to help us to fill up our spiritual tank. And so there are a lot of believers today who I simply believe have run out of gas. Just run out of gas. And it's painful to watch. And it's even hurtful to watch as life has left them stranded on the side of the road. I want you to pay attention to that, right? And can I tell you this? That's where the devil wants all of us, broken down and stranded on the side of the road. But the devil is a liar. We are able to embrace what God says to us, right? Remember what Jude says, now unto him that is able to keep you from falling. A pastor tells the story of a time when he ran out of gas. Listen, he says him and his kids when they was young, they was going on vacation in Lake Tahoe. They borrowed a trailer from one of the church staff members, and then he attached that trailer to the back of his truck. And unfortunately, he says he did not consider the extra weight and how that extra weight on his truck would impact his gas mileage. That extra pull, that extra weight that he's carrying. He said, so I ran out of gas before I made it to the destination. Somebody today may be carrying some extra weight. There's something that has attached itself to your life, to your spirit, man, to your marriage, to your children, to your finances. There's something that has attached itself, and if you're not careful, you're going to run out of gas and be broken down on the side of the road. This thing is real important, and this is a day-to-day event. This is a day-to-day situation where you have to begin to trust the Lord while you are dealing with extra weight in your life. Anybody on here besides Robert, pay attention to me. You may be struggling with extra weight today. And that extra weight you're pulling and you're hauling, and it seems like it's harder and harder. And so I've come to recognize the similarities between running out of gas in our vehicles and running out of gas in our walk with God. And whenever you start carrying extra weight, whenever you start carrying extra burdens, whenever you start having to hitch up with all of that stuff, you begin to find yourself, if you're not careful, running out of gas. And so over the next few weeks, I just want to kind of address a few things about what it means to run on empty. And I want to offer us some reasons why we may run out of gas physically, emotionally, or even spiritually. You're going to have to tune in. I'm just going to give you one today, and I want you to really meditate on this one this week because it's important. The devil is coming after all of us. The devil wants to see all of us broken down and on the side of the road spiritually. Doesn't want to see us fulfill our assignment. Want us to feel like giving up. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we may be carrying extra weight in this season. You may be carrying your family. You may be carrying a coworker. You may be carrying a burden of loss. You may be carrying some grief. You may be carrying some anxiety. You may be carrying some worrying and frustration and all of that extra weight. And if you're not careful, you'll mess around and run out of gas and run out on empty. So here is the reason I want to leave with you today. Here's one of the reasons that if we're not careful, we will find ourselves broken down on the side of the road. Here's the reason. We don't start our day with a full tank. We don't start our day with a full tank. The way we start our day sets our day. You remember I told you, God's left his word to us to guide us. He left his spirit to empower us. He left prayer to commune with us, and the church to encourage us. If we don't start out our day with a full tank, we'll more than likely run out of gas as the day goes on. Right? So when we get up, if we don't commune with the Father, if we don't get into his presence, my God, I sense them now. If we don't get into his presence, if we don't dive into that word, if we don't have that moment with God, and if we just get up, wash our face, brush our teeth, take our medicine and vitamins and run out the door and haven't spent time with God, and you're starting your day without a full tank, when the enemy comes along and he throws darts and things in your way, and stuff to make you get frustrated and stuff to make you get angry and things that make you feel discouraged. When he starts throwing all of those things, you more than likely will run out of gas before the day is over with. We need to start our day with a full tank. You know, our church has been on this local journey of becoming stronger disciples. We've been talking about it for a while. So let me offer some advice I've received from the Spirit of God to encourage you as it is encouraging to me, for all of us. Let's start trying to practice stealing away with the Lord at least twice a day. At least twice a day. Start your day with God, and then about midday, go back and do it all over again. Because you don't know, right now, we're watching and you guys are online and all of us are listening, but you don't know what the next hour holds. And so we got to have God in our hearts, feeding us and refueling us, right? And so I'm going to leave you with that today. I want to leave you with this thought. Fill up your tank. Watch me again. Fill it up again. Many believers are running on empty right now. Frustrated, aggravated, tired, angry, all kinds of stuff, fighting this political climate, the economy, trying to figure out how they're going to get ahead and overwhelmed, when God says, I am the one that will keep you from falling. Now unto him that is able, oh my God, to keep you from falling. You don't have to fall. You don't have to break down on the side of the road. You ain't got to give up. You ain't got to throw your hands in. You don't have to do any of that. Now unto him that is able to keep you from falling. I see, and that's the hashtag, fill up your tank again. Fill up your tank again. All right? When you get off this line, when we get off and say goodbye today, fill up your tank again. Steal away with the Lord and allow him to minister to you. My time is gone. Listen, my wife and I, we love you to life. We're always praying God's best for you and believing God's hand on your life. It's Mother's Day weekend. Pray for mothers and pray for those who've lost mothers, who are dealing with this emotionally. This is a real thing. My mother's not here. This is the 4th Mother's Day without her. Today is a day my friend went home last year to transition to be with the Lord. There's a lot of emotions going on. And so you have to really lean into God, all right? Because there's still things that have to go. Life keeps moving. Life doesn't stop just because you're in a tragedy. Life keeps happening. So we have to pray for one another, and then we have to go and commune with the Father. Remember, he left his word to guide us. He left his spirit to empower us. He left prayer to commune with us, and he left the church to encourage us and teach us. These things are meant to be the vessels or the gas in your spiritual tank. So take advantage of them. Remember, we're praying for you. And as I always say, and this is good, you got to remember this, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. He's the one that's going to get you through. All right? Don't break down on the side of the road today. Go ahead and pull off to the side and refuel your tank. Pastor, love you. My wife and I, we're praying for you. May God be with you. We want to see you in church on Sunday. It's Mother's Day. Bless you.